Hello and welcome, my friend. Let me start by grounding this in the Bible. When someone turns back to God, the angels are happy. Luke chapter 15 verse 10. That means the unseen world isn't far away. It responds. It pays attention. And you need to hear this clearly today. Not with drama. The angels are proud of you. Not in a childish way or as flattery, but in the way that heaven sees a soul that kept its oil when everything else tried to put out its light. Because some of the most important times in your life weren't loud. They weren't told, they weren't explained, posted, or defended. They happened in normal places. A quiet room where you almost broke down but didn't. You felt tight in your chest during the car ride, but you still didn't want to be mean. You wanted to stay in bed all morning, but you got up anyway and gave God your day. And you might think that those times don't matter. But heaven doesn't keep track of things the same way people do. Angels don't just see miracles, they see choices too. They keep an eye on what you do, even when you could easily defend doing the opposite. They pay attention to what you do when no one is giving you anything for it. They see the fights that are going on inside you that you don't show on your face. And you have been fighting those battles with more honor than you think. Some people only care about results. They only clap when they see proof. They only trust you when it's easy for them. Part 2. The angels have been watching the part of your life that no one else sees. The private hold. The choice to stop reacting. The discipline of walking away from things that hold you back. The time you stopped talking because you knew that your peace was more important than winning an argument. That's grown-up behavior, and it makes noise in the world we can't see. The Bible says that angels are ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. Hebrews chapter 1 verse 14. So, yes, angels do have jobs. There are angels. Angels don't guess what will happen in your life. They've seen how hard it was for you to stay soft while under pressure. They've seen you get hurt for no reason. They've seen you get confused, labeled wrong, and not given enough credit, and then you go back to God instead of your old ways. That's why this message isn't encouragement, it's recognition, because you have been becoming, though not perfectly, but faithfully. Even when it cost you, you kept choosing what was clean, you kept making the right choices, even though they made you feel alone. Even when your feelings told you to blow up, you kept choosing what was peaceful, and that is a kind of holiness, a very rare kind. People want to look strong. You were working on getting stronger without needing a microphone. A lot of people want to look better. You were slowly healing when no one was looking and nothing was certain. People often talk about forgiveness as if it's a catchphrase. You practiced it like it was life or death. Part 3. I need you to understand something. Heaven never forgets. The angels remember the nights you prayed with heavy eyes. They remember the mornings when you asked God for help and still did what you were supposed to do. They remember when you almost gave in to anger and didn't. People might not think that's impressive, but in the world we can't see, that's war. That's why you've been acting differently lately. A little more aware, a little less open to distractions, and a little less willing to make yourself smaller to make others feel better. And let me say this carefully. Your life gets quieter when your ability to tell right from wrong gets better. Not emptier, but quieter. You stop giving food to what takes it away. You stop trying to make deals with things you know are bad for you. You stop letting your spirit be a place for confusion. That change isn't random. That change is proof God has been helping you grow. This is the part where I talk to the person who feels like nothing is happening. Chosen ones. You might not get a trophy. You might not see a big change yet. You might not see the change on the outside that you've been praying for. But what you've been building will last forever. And heaven knows it. Angels don't look down on you because your life has been easy. They're proud of you because you didn't let hard times change who you are. You didn't turn into what hurt you. You didn't pass the poison on. God could keep trusting you with more because you kept your spirit clean. And that's why the next thing will feel different. Not messy, not forced, and not something you have to beg to keep. Part 4. The same God who saw you suffer is also the God who honors those who endure. And the angels who are in charge of your life are not confused about you. They know what you carry, even if you sometimes felt unsure. They've seen you change into it. It's not just hype when angels are proud of you. It's all about coming to an agreement. When your life starts to match what God has been whispering to you for a long time, heaven responds. And that's what has been going on with you lately. You've been letting go of things quietly, like old reactions, roles, and reflexes that used to keep you safe but don't fit who you are now. You didn't say it out loud. You didn't make it sound like a big deal. At first, you didn't even get it all. You just stopped. Quit going after things that never fed you. You stopped trying to explain yourself to people who had already made up their minds about you. No longer bargaining with God about things He had already made it clear. On the outside, that kind of obedience doesn't look impressive, but on the inside, it makes things work, and order changes what can get to you. When things are out of order, people can get in the way, but when things are in order, They can cover up, and you might not feel better yet. You might still feel the pull. You might still be tired, but listen up. Even though the pressure is still there, your response is changing. You might notice that you heal faster than you used to. You might notice that you don't stay hooked for as long. You might notice that you can breathe again sooner. That's not a little bit. That's a step forward, and God sees it. Part 5. Your life starts to change when your soul stops fighting with the truth. You stop being available for what used to get you. You stop giving the same cycles your attention. You stop opening doors that God has already helped you close. And that change is proof of growth that heaven can see right away. The Bible calls angels ministering spirits. That means they are not just watching. They are aware of what God is doing in and around you. And what God has been doing is steady, quiet, real, and deep. That's why your life won't feel as crazy as it used to. It will feel supported, not because there won't be problems. There will be, but because you won't be dealing with them in the same way. You won't have to carry them by yourself. And this is important, so listen carefully. You won't have to betray yourself to keep what God brings next. You won't have to change who you are to fit into rooms that make you tired. You don't have to work yourself to death to prove your worth. You won't have to do faith for people who only care about results. Because the version of you that needed permission has been replaced by a version of you that knows what to do. That's why angels aren't just happy with what you did. They are proud of who you won't become. You stayed soft but didn't get weak. You stayed strong without getting hard. And that mix is hard to find. Part 6. Let me say this gently to those who have been chosen. The quiet you've been feeling isn't empty. It's room. Room for better ideas. Room for clearer direction. Room for blessings that don't come with fear. God doesn't hurry souls like yours. He makes places for them to live. That's why you might see things change on their own. You might see some connections change shape on their own. You might notice that urgency doesn't control you like it used to. You aren't missing anything. You are coming in clean. Heaven cares more about arriving cleanly than quickly. So don't doubt this calm. Don't look for noise to show that something is happening. Don't bring up fights that God has already settled. Stay calm because what comes next will meet you in peace, not panic, in clarity, not confusion, and in confidence, not fear. And when it does, you'll know right away, not because angels shout it out, but because your spirit will know it fits. They've seen you become it, and now they're watching it find you. Thanks a lot for going on this trip with me. Please like the video and share it with others who might find it useful if you did. Don't forget to subscribe and keep going on your amazing journey by watching one of the videos on your screen that speaks to you the most. See you there.